Thank you for tuning into my video today on Money Madness. My name is Blair. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Help me to get the word out there to the peeps, to as many people as possible. The subject for today, I want to talk about how you can save money on gas. Now, the best way to save money on gas is not to have to buy it. Just don't burn it, and then you don't have to buy it. Now, that's difficult, okay? So the 5 ways I want to talk about today are walking, biking, public transportation, carpooling, and driving less. Now, I want to acknowledge in America, in the good old USA, our society has been designed to be spread out as far and wide as possible and to be as dependent on the gas and diesel powered automobiles as possible, which is dumb, double dumb. Anyway, that's what we have to deal with a few exceptions. You know, cities like Boston, New York, Washington, D.C., you can definitely get by without a car there pretty easily. But most places, it's really hard just because the way society is physically designed, and we didn't choose that. So let's get into the ways that you can save money on gas, shall we? The first one, the most basic form of transportation, is walking your 2 feet. Now, this is the slowest form of transportation, unless you're going to crawl, which I hope you don't do that. That would be painful. But walking, this is something I have been doing more lately in my neighborhood. I'm fortunate. I have businesses around me I'm able to get to on foot within a mile and a half, and I've been doing it. I've just been walking through the neighborhood. I feel kind of like an oddball because not many people walk, but I do it anyway. And so that's the most, probably the lowest cost, most basic form of transportation. And one thing I really like about walking is you're going so slow that you notice things that you would not notice for sure driving. I've already noticed a lot of things walking, and it's really cool to try it. So I would recommend it. If you have things you can walk to, do it. Try it out and give walking a try. The second form of transportation or way to save money on gas is a bicycle. Now, I haven't been doing this one as much because I have a bike, but I need to buy like a lock and a chain, to lock it up. I don't want anybody to steal it wherever I park it. Plus, sometimes I get flat tires and then I have to come take them in to be repaired. I really need to learn how to do that, but it's a little bit more of a hassle, faster than walking. I think bicycling is actually the most efficient form of transportation, but that's another thing you can try. If you don't have a bike, just buy an affordable one. I think I got mine for like $140 a couple years ago, and you can try it out. Bike to just some local places, or you can actually combine public transportation and biking too. So the third one, onto public transportation. Now in San Antonio, Texas, where I live, it's okay. I mean, the public transportation, we have buses here, and I have been taking the bus. It's pretty cheap. It's $1.30 per trip. So that's, you can't even get, is that even a quarter? Yeah, I guess that's a little bit more than a quarter gallon of gas, but it's much more than gas expense that goes into driving. So public transportation in cities like Dallas, Texas, and even in Houston, they have light rail as well as buses. So you might even be able to go car free, in those cities. And I'm sure I could go car free here too in San Antonio, but it's just the thing that really gets me is the grocery store. That's when I really like the car, because I can get a bunch of stuff and just load it in my car and drive. But I've really been, if I do not have to drive, I have not been driving, because the bus system here is pretty good, especially if it's just one bus and I can get where I need to go. Then, once you get into like 2 and 3 buses, then it really eats up your time. But a lot of people don't have the choice. I mean, they can't afford a car, so they have to take the bus and bike and walk. And, you do what you have to do, right? So the fourth one is drive less. Now, I've read, I think in several places that Americans especially, we, even within like a mile of our house or our apartment, we drive. We drive everywhere. And so sometimes, like the grocery store, there are certain things, driving is really nice, and so I think that, you want to be able to drive when you want to, when it's really good. But if you can drive less, I definitely would. Or if you can combine trips, maybe plan a little better, just try it. I mean, even if you save one trip, that's saving you some money and saving some pollution that you're putting into the air. So drive less. The last one I have is carpooling. Now, this one I don't really use much at all. But if you can somehow, go into work or wherever, church, wherever you're going, if you can ride with somebody and maybe you drive one time, they drive another. And of course, you probably don't want to be Freddie the freeloader. So you want to contribute to the gas money and at least offer it. And they can say no if, if they don't want to take it. But that's another one, is carpooling. So that's 5. And I'm going to go ahead and add a sixth one, which this one is the most expensive. This is what I would eventually like to get, is an electric car or a battery car. And I'm sure they're going to start going up in price because they're going to become more popular. But it's not even so much to save money on gas, although it is that, or pollution even. It's just they're so much simpler. The internal combustion engine has all these gaskets and seals and pulleys and belts and everything, and there's so much that can break and that wears out. And the electric car is just it's a more simple design. So that's really what I'd like to get eventually. So that would be the sixth one, is just add an electric car to your family. If you can afford it, it's expensive. And then you can just run on electricity, not worry about gas at all. That's what I have for you today to save money on gas. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching. God bless. And I will see you guys at the next video.